summer after my junior year of high school was the best summer of my life. And actually, surprisingly, this was due to a job. Now, as almost all of us know, summer jobs are dull and soul-sucking. You only do them to get enough money to forget that you're doing this job. This job was completely different. It was eye-opening, it was transformative, it was epic. And the interesting part of it is I was a soccer mom. I got this job through a friend. We were just sitting in the basement one day playing Guitar Hero. Well, she was playing, I was failing. I don't get Guitar Hero. And she goes, "Do you want a job?" I'm 17, I want to go on dates. I like food. Yeah, I want a job, give me a job. A week later, I'm driving around a minivan. First off, I used to drive a cool car. This was a huge step down. Driving around a minivan, it's layered in fries and Burger King toys and CDs of Hannah Montana. And she's on the radio too. I never even heard of her before. It was horrible. And I actually cleaned that. I'm not even a clean person. But the interesting part about all this is how I got this job. These 4 kids, 4, keep that in mind, there's 4. I never really babysat more than 1 before. Their mom was an alcoholic. She couldn't take care of them anymore. And their dad worked. They needed a babysitter to look after them. And she had been a stay-at-home mom. She'd been very well liked, very well loved. Everybody liked her in the whole community, but she couldn't stay sober for her kids. And this was especially heartbreaking when the second oldest, Morgan, had a birthday during the summer while I worked with him. And his mom still hadn't gotten visitation rights back yet. She had to call him. That's all he got on his birthday from his mom. That was very hard to watch, very hard to listen to. Now, while there definitely were some sad moments as to be expected, hilarity owned that summer. From the very first day when we went to the ER together. It started out very normally. We went to the park. It was right behind my house, literally 2 minutes walking. Rachel, my friend who set me up, was there with them. They got to be there with an adult they already knew, well, adult, and meet me. A nice, safe environment. We went, we played, went down slides and everything. It was good. Then we decided to transfer from one part of the park to the other. It's a very large park. And we're driving along. And some background, I'd taken a CPR class like a week before to be ready for these kids. I'm driving along and I hear giggling in the back. "Garrett, what are you doing?" "Nothing." "Garrett, what are you doing?" "Nothing." Morgan, same one from earlier, goes, "He's sticking this red tube on his finger." "Garrett, don't do that." "Okay." Garrett always said okay and just did whatever he wanted anyways. The second after this, I hear, "Uh-oh." This little red tube, which was used to save lives as part of a breathing apparatus, is stuck on his middle finger. Immediately, I yank the car over to the closest parking lot, rush over, get out of the car and just start yanking on his finger, yanking. Of course it's just going to come off. There's no way this can get stuck there. No, it's stuck pretty solid. Pull a little bit harder, no good. So we quickly go to the bathroom, which actually was right next to where I parked, very luckily. Run his hand under cold water, thinking it's going to constrict. It'd be really easy. This can't be that bad. It's the first day. No. Then we try soap. Soap's a natural lubricant. This will work too. Still no. It's stuck on there, and his finger is starting to swell. And 6-year-olds have the pain tolerance I can't even describe. He was starting to freak out at this point, which may have been in part due to Morgan, who was being a big brother at this point, and told him he would never get it off and they'd have to cut off a finger. Oh. After this, I think, okay, I don't know how to handle this. I'm 17. So I go to the park rangers. Now, park rangers by me mean rent-a-cops who couldn't make it as a rent-a-cop. So I go up there, and I knock for a while, I don't know what they're doing in there. It's like 2 in the afternoon, but apparently they're really busy and keep it locked. They open the door and laugh at me and say, "Go to the ER, kid." So I never been to the ER in my life. I'm driving along like, please tell me it's somewhere on this road. I don't know what I'm doing. We finally get to the ER. This is the scene as we come in. I'm holding the hand of a crying 6-year-old. A crying 8-year-old's in front of me because Morgan forgot that it was his joke that the finger was going to get cut off and started to bleed too. Then we have a 10-year-old who's starting to tell me how stupid this whole thing is. And a little 4-year-old who's crawling up to people and pretending to be a puppy dog. And while all this is happening, I'm on the phone with their dad like, "Hey, this is your brand new babysitter. Her at the ER, you should probably come meet me." And then we're trying to set up all the information. I met these kids a week before. They were asking birthday, social security. I don't even know their address. We're trying to get it all set up, and then finally just here, this is their dad. Go with it. Once we get weighted and all the people with the gunshot wounds and pregnant moms got in there, we finally get in the back. First thing the doctor asked me, I'm sure you guys can guess it. Did you try pulling it off? No, I came to the ER because it seemed fun. I really want this guy to trust me. So he starts pulling on and he goes, it's stuck. Thank you for medical school. I never would have known that without that. After he gets all into being funny, he actually gets out a ring cutter. Useful little thing, cuts it off, it's all good. And afterwards he goes back to being a joker. Pretend that you were Garrett. He holds up his hand and goes, let's make sure that your finger's okay. We're getting flipped off by a 6-year-old. Interns walk in are starting to take pictures of it and are like posing with him. Really, this is not happening. And then their dad walks in while this is happening. Somehow, after all of this, thankfully, he's a very patient man. He let me keep my job. And because of this, I now know what I want to do with my future. Working with those kids day after day, well, it was exhausting and it was insane. Watching them go through that despair and that happiness, I wanted to help them through every moment. And because of that, I decided I want to work with kids. And not just in any small way. I want to be a pediatric psychiatrist. Those kids gave me a future, and because of them, I know what I want to do and I know how to get there. Thank you.